Yo, what's going on, guys? Hennis here. Today we are playing Super Smash Bros. Zombies. This is, I know, a game that so many of you guys grew up playing. I personally never grew up playing it, but I know a lot of you guys did. So we're going to give it our best shot, try to beat this map. I'm just loading it up now and realizing that there is timed rounds on this map, which means the zombies are never going to stop spawning, which is certainly going to make for a pretty interesting challenge map. If you guys do enjoy this, make sure you drop a like, subscribe as well if you are new. Turn on those post notifications so you never miss a stream or a video in the future. And I guess without further ado, let's get right into it. So we'll buy Quick Revive. Like, all these zombies are sprinters too, right off the bat, which is crazy. And of course we have hit markers as well. We are shooting for 1,000 likes in the stream, which you guys have been, like, literally killing over these last couple times I've been going live here over the last couple days, which is really, really great to see. So I want to thank all of you for that. Emmanuel, what's up? Welcome. Let's go to the stream. Hell yeah, Jackson. I'm glad you guys are hyped. Okay, so we're all out of ammo. There's Galvan Knuckles right there. I can't buy that ballista for some reason. I think I could. I just went by it too fast. Oh, the B23R costs 1,000. Okay, so we need a couple more points here. I'm going to try to knife his... Okay, exactly. We have exactly 1,000 points. Beautiful. Got to wait for this zombie to get out of the way. Is that Pikachu? Yeah, that's Pikachu right there. And then I think that's... I don't know the exact... I know it's from Zelda. I don't know if that's actually his name, but... I don't know. I'm telling you guys, there's a lot... Whoa. Okay, I got stuck on a zombie spawn right there. That was only slightly scary. All right, we just got a free weapon. Let me pick this up. What is this? Oh, it's just the L car? That's lame. To be honest with you, I thought it was like a weapon from an older Call of Duty. I'll consider donating if you read this. What's up, Jackson? How you doing, man? Looking forward to your possibility of a donation. What's up, Giovanni? Welcome to the stream. I really should, because we got this infinite ammo, I think I should just be... Actually, you know what? I can just hold this down. I don't even need to worry about wasting ammo here, because this weapon doesn't even have a burst. We can just hold down the trigger on this one. Get ourselves as many points as we want. Hey, what's up, Dez? Welcome to the stream, homie. Appreciate all of you guys coming in. I kind of want to pick up that max ammo, but at the same time, I don't. Okay, so there's obviously some way to get up to these next higher levels. I don't know how to do that just yet, though. All right, make sure all of these are reloaded. All right, perfect. We don't have, like, any perks down here whatsoever. I really wish there was, like, I had time in between each of these to, like... Oh, to open up a door, and open up a door. Okay, so all of those cost a specific amount of money. I guess those bring you up, maybe one for each level? I guess maybe one brings you up to one of the first platforms and another brings you up to another one? I don't know, man. I'm confused. I don't know. What's up, Caden? Welcome to the stream. Oh, Jesus. That was scary. Yo, hold on. We got a brand new sponsor. Yo, Z Hunter. I appreciate it, man. Hold on. I'm going to wait for the notification to come up on screen before I officially thank you here. I want to make sure you get the recognition you deserve, my man. What's up, Alex? Welcome to the stream, buddy. Appreciate you tuning in. All right, so I guess what I'm doing right now is I'm still down here, and I know it's round 6 already, surprisingly, which is crazy. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up this though. Kill all of you guys. Gonna try our best to keep the zombies at bay. What's up, Rio? Welcome to the stream. Why is it taking so long for this notification to come up? I don't know. I don't even know if we just lost points or gained points. Hey, Zach McGinnis. Yo, but for real, let's get some sponsor hype in the chat. Those of you guys that are sponsors can use that brand new sponsor hype emote. But Z Hunter, I appreciate your sponsor, man. You are now a menace to society. Welcome to the club, brother. And thank you for your support. Let's get a warm welcome for Z Hunter. If you guys don't know who he is, he's another fantastic YouTuber. Been doing a lot of, I think H1Z, not H1Z1, but you've been doing a lot of Fortnite. I saw you tweet out about the H1Z1 Invitational today. It was really fun to watch. I saw you were watching it as well. But so yeah, that's good to see that you're branching out to other stuff, though, man. 100%. That's good. It's good to see. Because I'm gonna hopefully be trying to do that soon. But you're on it. You're making moves faster than me, which is good. So yeah, once again, thank you, man, for the support. I do appreciate it. Once again, guys, if you don't know who Z Hunter is, make sure you go check him out. Still have no idea what the guy looks like. He hasn't Snapchatted me a selfie yet. What's up, Tastiest? What's up, Blazy? I was messing with you, man. Hold on. Oh, yes. Okay, this is actually perfect. So we have absolutely no way of shortening the rounds or making them stop spawn, but we do have the power to slow them down. So we just bought that door. What does this do? Oh, it's just a portal right there. Okay. Can we buy all of them? No, we can't. We can only buy 2 of them. So I'm just going to go up to this level now. This brings us up to Wonder Fizz. Now, the question is, can the zombies come up here? I have no idea. Can we hop down here? We can. A staff of ice for 10 grand. I literally have no idea what to do. Can I continue? Can I fall back down here? Okay. Oh, Jesus. Okay, that was only slightly scary. We're definitely gonna have to hit the box. What's up, Alex? You're awesome. Yo, I appreciate it, Slayer. The kind words, man. Let's go hit the box over here. See what good weapons we can get, because I'm kind of sick of this L car. I think I'm going to keep the B23R. Wait, the box costs 4 grand? Oh, that's messed up. It better give us some really, really good weapons then. If it costs 4,000 points every time we want to hit the box. Guess we're not going to be hitting the box that many times this game. Ooh, okay, that's an infinite health, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if I want to risk it. I'm pretty sure it is, though. Yeah, it is. It's an infinite health. Oh, yeah, that's perfect. That's good, that's good, that's good. Hey, what's good, Kevin? How you doing today, Rise? Welcome back to the stream, brother. Okay, let's bring all these zombies over here. I guess I shouldn't be purposely trying to let them hit me. But now that we got 4 grand, let's hit the box. We really need Jug, badly. I need to figure out what level Jug is on. Wait a minute, why did it not... Wait. We hit the box, but where did the weapon go? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Did you guys notice that? We hit the box and the weapon didn't even appear. Oh! I got stuck, man. You gotta be kidding me. Wait, what is this? I have no idea what that is. What's up, Gorgon? How you doing today? Yo, let's get a proRIP in the chat. Solid proRIP. What is that? Oh, get out of the way. Is that another L car? Okay, it is. Cool. What is going on? Ooh. You bought the box? Oh, so that's just me. That just means I bought the box. Oh, okay. So now I can actually hit it and get weapons. I see what I did now. Yeah. Okay. Never mind then. Oh, the Gorgon? Nah, dude, that's messed up. What's up, Julian? Welcome to the stream. All right, thank you, chat, for not making me look nearly as stupid right there as I originally was. Okay. This map is really, really confusing. I need another one of those time warps, though. Definitely. And I need to get Jug really badly. I think if we go up to one of those platforms, though, I don't think the zombies can actually come up to us, which is really, really nice. What's up, Elliot Rogers? How you doing today, my man? Okay, let me pick that up. I'm gonna try to go up to another one of these platforms. Which one do we want to go up to, though? I don't know. I'm gonna try to go up. Let's try to go up to this one, because I guess we went up to the other one last time. Okay, here's Jug. Beautiful. Can we fall down there? All right, I guess we technically can. Oh, we can't shoot them from down there. Interesting. So there's no level above this. So the highest level we can get up to is that one to pack a punch. So I guess, oh, okay, and here's Speed Cola. But we can't shoot down there, can we? Yeah, it's like we're hitting an invisible barrier. So that's kind of annoying. If you shout me out, I'll send you $1,000. Yo, Bonnie, looking forward to your $1,000 dono. Okay, so I guess if you just drop back down, it automatically just teleports you right back. You can't fall down to a specific spot, which is kind of annoying. I wish you could. Not too bad, though. What's up, Christian? What's up, David? What's up, Nick Boyu? How you doing, my man? All right, so 35,000 for the viable ending, which really, that's not too bad at all. We can easily do that. Wow, okay. This Gorgon is not doing a whole lot of work for me. What's up, sirs? How you doing today? Xbox plays? Oh, this weapon, yeah, the weapon moves way too slow. Let me hit the box again. If we could get, like, a dingo. That's whatever custom zombies map we were playing last time, that was one of the weapons that we got. What is this? Ooh, okay. You know what? I mean, honestly, just for nostalgia's sake, I'll take it, but it's actually kind of a trash weapon. I'll take it. But we are really looking for points right now, so I think I'm going to try to grab that. How do you donate? Mike, if you do want to donate to the stream, man, donations are always optional, but there is a link in the description down below. Honestly, a better thing you can do, though, than just donating is also sponsoring the channel. Look at this! Okay, yeah, never mind. We're taking this, 100%. Okay, double points and a time warp. All right, beautiful. Buy this. Let's head back up to another one of these platforms. Oh, actually, hold on. Let me try to get enough for... I need, what is it, 5,000 if I want to buy double tap and speed cola at the same time? Yeah, so we have enough to do that now. Let's head back up. What's up, Browley? Welcome to the stream. JC, welcome. All right, we'll hop in here. Yeah, I'm not going to buy any of that just yet. Let's head right here to double tap. Can we make it all the way over there? I don't think we can. Yeah, no, we can't. Okay. This time warp's about to run out, though. No big deal. We'll go into the second window now, and we'll hop right back down here and grab ourselves some speed cola. Hey, what's up, Beast Squad? How you doing today, my man? All right, now if we jump back down here, just brings us right back down to the middle. All right, perfect. So we got all the weapons we could possibly want, or all the perks, I mean. I guess there is a Wonder Fizz up there, though, so I probably will be hitting that, because if we could get Widow's Wand, that would be fantastic. How do you sponsor the channel? If you want to become a sponsor, guys, there is a link right at the top of the description down below. We do currently have, how many sponsors is it? 67 sponsors. Not too bad. Z Hunter being our latest one, so he can use all those custom emotes. Those of you guys who are sponsors in the chat, make sure you guys actively use the emotes. Try to encourage some other people to become sponsors as well. Ooh, Arnie's. Ah, but I don't want to swap out a weapon, man. I'm going to wait for that to go away, actually, then. How many shots do we have in it? Oh. 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 That is crazy. This weapon is nuts. With the infinite ammo? Holy Lord. That is crazy, dude. Yo, hey, Jason Kennedy. What's up, my man? Welcome to the stream. This thing is legendary. Legend? Wait for it. Dairy. Okay, never mind. We all ran out. What's up, Browley? How you doing today, my man? Oh, yes, the MG08. Ah, but I don't have Mule Kick. I don't even care. I'm taking it. I'll keep the ray gun Mark 3s. But these, honestly, the MG08 is way too good. Quality on fleek? Hell yeah, true. Dude, honestly, I love the quality of my live streams now. They look so fantastic. Super nice. This thing's too good. All right, I want to go back up and hit Wonder Fizz. So I think it's this one, right? Go up to this one? Hell yeah. All right, let's knock off Wonder Fizz. See what we're going to get. Widow's Wine. That's what we're praying for. First hit. Why do we get Speed Cola again? Isn't that what it said? Oh, no, it said we got Stamina. Okay, I got really confused there. I thought it gave us the wrong thing. What's up? Yo, how you doing today, Alice? What's up, Cookie Land? You're eating Pringles right now? I bought some Pringles the other day for like the first time in months. Best decision I've ever made. All right, perfect. We got enough for one more box, one more hit here. We got give me something good. PhD. Okay. Absolutely useless on this map, but I'll take it. Cool. I love how they just all go and get stuck near that one portal. We can't make it up. It's too good. Oh my god. Alright, so for those of you guys that are just tuning in now, it is 35,000 points for the viable ending, which we'll hopefully be able to get soon. What's up, Vakin? How you doing today? Games? Widow's Wine and PhD Flopper is good? Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. Try to reload this. Pick this up. Beautiful. Okay. I gotta find a good spot to like line up these zombies. I really wish there was a way you could go up to those top platforms. I guess that would be too overpowered though. If you could shoot the zombies from those upper platforms, that would probably make it way too easy to get to high rounds. Because you could just stay up there and like keep pack-a-punching. Or if the box was up there, you could just, yeah, it'd be probably a little bit too easy. So I guess I understand why they don't do it. It'd be pretty legendary though, not gonna lie. Almost 800 people in here already. You guys are insane. If you're new to the stream, make sure you guys do drop a like if you haven't done so already. How many likes are we at? Over 300 likes. We're shooting for 1,000. That's what we shoot for in every live stream. So if you guys can make that happen, I would really appreciate it. Oh my lord. What's up, Lemon Water? How you doing today, Joe Kirk? Welcome to the stream, my man. Hold on. I just realized we don't even need to have music playing in the background because we got the music of this map. Alright, cool. Ooh, I'm excited. Oh, no, we ran out of ammo. Okay, so we gotta go pack-a-punch it. Actually, let's buy... Actually, do we even need to buy this one? I don't think we do. Because if we buy... Yeah, it's just gonna bring us right to here. So that's actually kind of a waste. But we have this Staff of Ice. You know what I'm gonna do, actually? Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go back down. We're gonna head back up to the main platform. We're gonna pack-a-punch this MG08. We're gonna pack-a-punch the MG08, which I think is right here. Yeah. We're also gonna hit Wonder Fizz again. Get our MG08 so we can have that. And I want Mule Kick so then I can... I really want to get Mule Kick so then I can buy that Staff of Ice. That's going to be legendary. Hi, Prohennis. What's up, Sean? Welcome to the stream. How you doing today, Joshua? But yeah, let's try to get a massive like spike. Thank you guys as well for helping us hit 193K. That's insane. On the road to 200,000 subscribers. Hopefully in this next upcoming week, we'll be able to get it. What's up, Raymond? What's up, Song for Justice? How do I sponsor? Dakota. What happens when you sponsor? Yeah, so if any of you guys are actually curious in becoming a sponsor of the channel, hold on. Hopefully they don't get those disgusting green blocks. I don't think they did. All right, cool. So if any of you guys are actually interested in becoming a sponsor, when you do become a sponsor of the channel, I add all of my sponsors back on PlayStation. I'll follow you back on Twitter. I'll follow you back on Instagram if you want. You get access to all the cool custom emojis that only sponsors can use, which are a lot of them are just funny pictures of my face that you can use throughout the stream. You get access to the sponsor badge. Your name will appear in green to let everybody else know that you're a supporter. And it's just a cool way to support, you know, some of the content creators you enjoy watching on YouTube. But the custom emojis are personally, that's my favorite perk. And I love it when people use my custom emojis in chat. It's really, really cool to see. And so, yeah, I think if we had more sponsors, more people would definitely be using them, which would be really sweet. We still, unfortunately, don't have Mule Kick yet, so we're still going to have to go back up and get that. Because the Staff of Ice costs 10,000 points, which is ridiculous. So I guess we're just going to try to make the best situation that we can with the perks that we have for right now. I would say, yeah, coming up here, I'm actually going to go through that teleporter once again. Once we get 20,000 points, I'll go through the teleporter again. We'll go back up to Wonder Fizz, and we'll try to get Mule Kick. Once we get, because I don't want to lose the two weapons I have right now. I don't want to lose this MG08, and I don't want to lose the Ray Gun Mark III, because those are both really good. So let's head back through. Hey, what's up, Idea? How you doing today, Kelsey? How do I donate? Brittany, if you do want to donate to the stream, it's always optional, but there is a link in the description down below. How do I sponsor? Dakota, if you do want to sponsor the channel, my man, the link right at the top of the description down below that says click here to sponsor. If you click that, it'll bring you to my YouTube gaming live stream where you can sponsor the channel. And then we do have Mule Kick. All right, perfect. Deadshot Daiquiri. We might as well try to get all the perks. Might as well. Tomorrow's my birthday. Hey, Malachi, happy early birthday to you. Okay, we have every single perk in the game. That is pretty sweet. Okay, so I'm pretty sure these are the only two weapons that we have. So I think if we head up to this level, right? Is it this one? Oh, we have the Staff of Lightning. Okay, hold on. There's the Staff of Lightning, and then there's the Staff of Ice. Which one do you guys want? Which one do you guys think we should get? I'm actually, I want the chat to decide here. Ooh, I thought I was going to fall off the map. That would have really sucked. Oh my god. This thing's way too good. Alright, let's pick up this Lightning thing again. This thing's too cool. I have no idea how I'm even controlling this. You guys are all saying the Lightning one? Lightning, Ice, Ice, Ice. I guess we could technically get both. Maybe I would just swap out the Ray Gun Mark III. I guess because these are just kind of boring. Ray Gun Mark IIIs are just kind of boring, right? I mean, everybody kind of uses those. So let's use this to get the Staff of Lightning. That's so sick. All right, cool. Now we'll head to the next platform. And we'll head to this spot here, right? Is this going to give it to us? Yeah, right down here. All right, perfect. Hey, we got a brand new sponsor. Tastiest Path is my 68th sponsor. I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much for the support. Yo, let's get some sponsor hype in the chat from my man, Tastiest. Thank you very much, dude, for deciding to support the channel. I do appreciate it. Everybody be sure to welcome Tastiest. You are now a menace to society, man. Enjoy all the perks. Sponsor hype, my dudes. Sponsor hype. That's two brand new sponsors of the stream. Damn. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, yeah. Not all about going down here. All right. The only unfortunate part, or one of the big unfortunate parts about buying all these staffs is now we just lost a ton of points, and we were actually really close to being able to get the viable ending, which costs 35,000. But I guess that's kind of the downfall. That's probably why they make it so expensive. What's up, Peanut Man? How you doing today, brother? Oh my lord. I really wish... Oh no! Okay, hopefully that nade will actually kill the zombies. Okay, it will. Cool. So we have Who's Who. Thank goodness. So Who's Who might actually save... Oh, time warp! No freaking way, dude. Revive myself. That is so clutch, dude. No freaking way. Hold on. I gotta rebuy, I gotta rebuy the... Why can't I rebuy... No! Oh my god. Oh, wait, no, I just lost the staff. Again, are you kidding me? What's up, Tipster? Okay. I just almost went down again. That would have been so incredibly bad. Oh my lord. That's two back-to-back clutches. Nice. Not too shabby. All right, let's hit the box again. We're going to try to go ahead and grab ourselves... So what perks are we missing now? I want to go back up and grab Who's Who. That was way too clutch. Yo, Shake Info, what's up, Tom? What's up, ZB? How you doing today? Yeah, those of you guys who haven't dropped a like yet, make sure you do that. All right, let's pick up the Type 25. Missed this weapon. This was a god tier weapon back in BO2. I mean, it wasn't the best, but it was still really solid. Really solid. What's up, Furious? How do I sponsor? If you guys want to become a sponsor of the channel, it's very easy. There's a link right at the top of the description down below. Just tap that link, and it'll bring you to my YouTube gaming live stream, where then you'll just click the pretty green sponsor button. And once you click that, you should be able to sponsor the channel. You get access to all the custom emotes. The more sponsors I get, the more emotes we'll be able to unlock and add to the stream for you guys. Right now, we have quite a few number of funny ones that you guys can use. If you're curious about what any of them are, they're all in the description down below. Whoa, why can't I hit the box? Was I just moving too fast, maybe? Maybe I was just moving too fast right by the box. Sliding into the DMs? Hell yeah, Fabian. I respect that. Because I got to swap out this Pharaoh, or this Type 22. I really want the MG08 again, man. That was too OP. Hey, More Than Divine. What's up, gorgeous? Welcome to the stream, man. Alright, not trying to get killed by these. Hold on, actually. I want to try to get some more of these Widow's Wands. Or is a max ammo right in there? Oh, I want to swap to the other staff. Here we go. We need to go back up to the Wonder Phase and get more perks. What's up, Z-Boy? How you doing today, my man? Alright, let's head back up there, actually. Where'd we go? Is it this one? No, it's the top one. I'm so stupid. Okay. Hold on. Jump off. Nice. Wow. He was right there. What's up, Alex? Okay. And let's hit Wonder Fizz. Because I think the only perk that we're missing right now is Who's Who. Everybody sub, what's up, Aiden? Notice me? What's up, Zombie Player? What up, my dudes? What's up, Little Daddy? What's up, Aiden? Alright, I'm pretty sure that should be Who's Who. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, it is Who's Who. And then we can only have 12 perks. Okay, cool. So we got everything. Might as well pack a punch this. Oh, we should pack a punch the staffs. Shouldn't you get Quick Revive? Yeah, I don't know why it's not. Oh, no, we do have Quick Revive. That's why. That's why it's not letting us get it. Oh, can we not pack a punch the staffs? Oh, that's boring. I thought we could. I guess, yeah, I guess we would need those upgrade stations, which I guess we just don't have on this map. I'll slide into your DMs if you answer me, baby. I miss you. Lol. Yo, Divine. I got you, man. I got you. I subbed. Thank you very much, Seamus. I do appreciate it. Any of you guys that are new to the channel, definitely make sure you guys subscribe. When you subscribe, you'll see your names appear right below my face cam, and you'll see that live sub count go up in the upper left-hand corner. You guys can see we're on the road to 200,000. We just hit 193K today, like right after we started the stream, which is just crazy. Really cool to see. What's up, Caden? That's what I thought, too. I don't know. Hold on a sec, guys. No, it's fine. Alright. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry for the confusion. Okay, we're here. Nobody panic. Hopefully you guys didn't miss me too much. We're back. Yeah, just a little bit of roommate confusion. One of our suite mates just came to the door. Need to ask us a question. But we're good. Everything's straightened out. Oh, is that another... I think that's another lightning power right in the middle there. I want to grab that. Hold on. I need to get all those zombies out of the way, though. Need to grab it. Listen to the hit markers from that, man. That is nasty. Oh my god. What? What on earth? Look, I could just stand right here. Hennis, how are you? Gianni, I'm doing pretty great. Thanks for asking. Hopefully you're doing well. So what is this? Ooh, Galvan Knuckles? Oh, wait a minute. Wait, what? Why are there no Galvan Knuckles? Wait a minute, what the hell? I can't buy the Galvan Knuckles. Why isn't it letting me buy it? Notice me. What's up, Dustin? Welcome to the stream. Okay, I think there's another health drop in there, too. Buy the ending? Yeah, we're going to buy the ending here pretty soon. I want to try to get to round 25 here, which I think we definitely should be able to do. These stabs are so much fun to use, though. What's up, Cyber Warrior? Welcome to the stream. Joe, what's up, my man? Okay, let's pick up that time warp here real quick. All right, I kind of want to keep hitting the box, though, because I know there's some good custom weapons in here that we haven't found yet. As fun as the Weevil is to use. Stop ignoring me. What's up, Mason? Hennis, I love your streams. Thank you, Xbox Plays. I appreciate that, man. The RPD? No way. Oh, there's no sound in this weapon, unfortunately. Wait, how is that guy sprinting? Anybody else pick up on that? We have the time warp thing right now. How could he possibly be sprinting? I have no idea. All right, let's pack a punch it. What's up, Creep? Hennis, do you remember me? J-Dog. Yes, I do remember you, man. Welcome. That looks... Isn't that the exact same Pack-a-Punch camo that you get from Black Ops 2? There's no sound when you shoot the weapon, though. That sucks. It's been a while. We need to catch up sometime. Hell yeah, dude. For sure, for sure. What's up, Big Huda? What's up, Sean? Okay. Oh, we got fire. I'll definitely take fireworks. Fireworks is a good addition to have onto that. All right, cool. It's just like the PPSH in like every custom zombies map. Wait a minute. Was that the fireworks that just kicked in? How did we kill all those guys so quick? My God. All right, I guess I'm gonna keep the Staff of Ice out. That's probably the best, in all honesty, for this situation. Yankees 0-0, bottom of the 4th. All right, thank you, Gianna, for keeping me up to date. I appreciate it. All right, this is just the ice one, right? Yeah, I was gonna say. So why isn't it freezing them? There we go. What's up, Mike? 200K sub hype. We're super close to 200,000 subscribers, guys. It's pretty crazy, actually, how close we are to hitting it. We've had some really massive sub growth days these last couple days, and it's really cool to see all the support you guys are showing the channel. All right, so here's what I'm gonna make a deal with you guys on. I do have a couple of other maps that I do want to play for you guys tonight, and both of them are actually Halloween themed. They're Halloween themed versions of maps, of custom zombies maps that we've played in the past, but they're laid out like completely differently, which is really cool. So if you guys want us to hop into that next map, you guys can see we have 624 likes right now. I'll make this deal with you guys. As soon as we hit 800 likes, I'll move on to the next map. All right, it's a pretty big goal. Aaron says, "Am I late?" Oh no, you're good, man. You're good. Do I know O Custom? Yes, Tyler, I do know who O Custom is. Beast Squad says, "How do I sponsor?" If you want to become a sponsor, man, type !sponsor in the chat, and it will actually give you a link to sponsor the channel. If you type that in, you should see the ProBot actually give you a link for it. Or you can also go to the link right at the top of the description down below, and that will let you sponsor the channel as well. Staff of Lightning, hell yeah. It's a really good. I wish they had all 4 staffs. That'd be pretty sweet. Hey, Jacob Wright, what's up, man?
Keep up the work, Dennis. Now you're sub to my channel.
Keep up the work. Didn't know you're sub to my channel. Jacob Wright. Hold on, Jacob Wright. I don't know if I am sub to your channel, man. I don't know if I am. I am subscribed to a lot of people on YouTube, so not a whole lot of people, just like a few hundred, actually, I should say. So it is possible I'm subscribed to you, but your name is not ringing a bell. Is that your YouTube name, or is it something else? But either way, man, Jacob Wright, I appreciate your $5, man. Obviously, he says, "Keep up the good work." I appreciate it, man. Thank you very much. Somebody said sponsor. It's not a new sponsor, guys, unless somebody clicks the green sponsor button. But if any of you guys do want to become a sponsor, oh no, shoot. We're gonna go down, dude. I don't know why I pressed grenade again. Okay, we're gonna have to get out of the way here. Okay, we need another time warp, very badly, because this is a pretty bad situation to be in. All right, I need something. What's up, Samantha? Says, "How do you donate?" If you want to donate to the stream, there is a link right at the top of the description. Or no, that's a sponsor. But if you want to donate, there's a link in the description down below. What's up, True Killer? How you doing today, man? All right, I don't really know how we're gonna get out of this, actually. I need a really good weapon. A really good weapon. What's up, C Nanner? How you doing today, man? Let me go back and try to see what we got out of the box. Hopefully, it's a good weapon that can just mow everybody down. And what is it? It's the Shiva. What's up, Svlin? How you doing today? Yeah, I'm not about to go down right now. Oh, okay. Oh. Okay. We just snapped right back in. That's pretty sick. I didn't really know how that happened. That's happened every single time we've used Who's Who. I don't know if that's just a custom map thing. It's weird, though. From Freedom MCN.
From Freedom McKen.
From Freedom MCN. I don't know if... I'm sorry, man. It's not ringing a bell. I do apologize. The Astros hit a home run. That's all right, man. Was it just a solo? Hopefully it was just a solo home run. What's up, Nick? Welcome to the stream. All right, I'm going to stay back up here because I got to get Quick Revive. I'm going to get Quick Revive just in case, even though we're going to hop right back down there and get the Bible ending. But yeah, I'll tell you, I made that deal with you guys. As soon as we hit 800 likes, I will go ahead and get the Bible ending. Astros hit a home run. Wait, they hit a grand slam? No. Oh, no, it's just 1-0 in the 4th. Chat, you can't be freaking me out like that. It's 1-0 in the 4th. Not 4-0. Okay. It's just one run. Okay. We haven't been shut out yet in this postseason, I don't think. So, If it's just one run, then I think we're fine for right now. But yeah, make sure you guys keep me updated. Okay, obviously we are rooting for the Yankees. What's up, Freakless? How you doing today, man? But yeah, the live like count, guys, is in the upper left-hand corner. As soon as that live like count hits hits 800 likes, we're gonna go ahead and get the Bible ending, and we're gonna move on to the next custom zombie map, which you guys are really gonna enjoy. One of them, actually, I don't want to give them away just yet. Can you do octagonal? We might do octagonal again sometime tonight. I'm not really sure yet. We'll see though. We'll see. All right, we really need to stay away from the that side of the map, because that's the second time we've gone down, getting pinned or pinched in between that area. Are we gonna do another raid tonight? Oh, always, man. We always make sure to do the raids. What is with these zombies that are just standing around? I'm very confused. Is there 800 likes? Hold on, I gotta see the live like count on stream here first, guys. What are these guys doing, man? I don't know. What's up, Nathan? How you doing today, my man? Gotta get this zombie away from the Bible ending there. 792 likes. I believe you guys that we probably are at 800 likes, but I just want to see it on stream here first. Let's pick up that nuke. You're my favorite YouTuber. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. 800 already. Is there a Halloween McDonald's? Ooh, man. If there was, I would be on top of that map, man. Trust me. Trust. 830, bro? Yeah, okay. I'll go ahead and believe you guys. Let's go ahead and get the Bible ending. By the way, if you guys don't have notifications turned on for the channel yet, make sure you tap the bell icon that's right below the video player. Once you've done that, screenshot it and tweet it at me over on Twitter at proHennis, because I do follow back every single notification squad member on Twitter. Let's get it. What's up, Cohen James? How you doing today, man? And thank you very much for 800 likes, guys. That's crazy. GG's in the chat. Pro GG's.